Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Hallmarkies podcast. And we're really excited today. We are sleuthing our hearts out today as we are talking about the two recent Hallmark mysteries. And you don't want to get alone you don't want to go to a dinner party with any of these people.
No.
It's not a good choice because being in an enclosed house of some kind with either of these sleuthers is a recipe for disaster.
100%. I actually went on vacation a couple years ago and
Uh-huh.
we went to this restaurant that was like a chef's table kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
And there were like 15 of us and the staff had us introduce ourselves to each other and I genuinely thought like my brain is so warped from these movies that for a moment I felt fear. And it's like, no, girl, you're on vacation. You're in a sundress. Relax. But I was like, oh, we have our like three girlfriends
Oh
visiting. It's
yeah.
like one of them is like going through divorce, and we have a like newlyweds, and we have a this. And it was like truly, I felt like I was in one of these. And so, yes, it was just further
Yeah.
reinforced in both of these films. You should just not go to dinner with people like this.
Yeah. Especially in like manners.
Yes.
Avoid. Highly avoid any kind of thing. Any kind of manor, any kind of castle. Not a good choice.
Give it a wide berth.
Yes. And but we are so excited to talk about. We have Sugar and Vice, a Hannah Swensen mystery, and the Nelly Knows mysteries, All Manners of Murder. And I'm going to Rachel Wagner and Mitu's here.
Hello.
Yeah. So how you been doing? You having a good spring?
Yes, I feel like I'm finally back to life. I walked to the gym today. I was in a t-shirt and shorts. It felt amazing. The sun is
Well,
back out. I feel like I'm back with the world, which is great. How about
well,
you?
you all actually had like a real winter. We
A
had
tough one.
we had less snow in Utah than they did in Florida. They had more snow in Florida
Oof.
than Utah. So it's been wild. But yeah, it's been they used to say that they used to always say if you don't like the weather in Utah, wait 5 minutes, but not this winter. It's been pretty consistent. But
That's weird. I didn't know
yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's crazy. I did all these interviews for Sundance, and one of the animators was from Tunisia,
Mm,
and I had to tell him like, just to moderate your expectations, you might not see any snow.
yeah.
Don't be disappointed.
That is so
But
wild to come to
yeah,
Utah. I feel like if you're coming to Sundance, you are automatically packing coat,
yeah,
good warm pants, like good warm clothes, especially
yeah,
if you're coming from somewhere like Tunisia.
right.
And then boom, no,
Yeah, it's like
not at
80
all.
degrees.
Yeah,
Surprise.
that's wild.
Yeah. But anyway, so it's been interesting, but it is nice when you get that spring weather, as long as I don't have the allergies too bad.
That's true. I was just thinking that this morning, like, this is my week of peace before I have to sort of load up on everything. Like, I got to
Yeah,
do my
yeah.
Flonase. I got to do, I cannot slack in any of those departments.
Yeah. Well, it's very interesting now that they have basically gotten rid of any new programming onto the Hallmark Mysteries, and so they're just combining these in to the regular channel.
Hmm.
That it's interesting to see the ones that they are continuing on with, the ones that they're bringing back. This Nelly Knows mysteries, I'd almost completely forgotten about it. I'll be honest. I mean,
Same.
I enjoyed the original, but it was pretty much gone. My memory. Like, oh yeah,
Yeah, until you sent me a G chat about them, I completely forgot that, Nelly, with respect to your name and your game, she had fully slipped my mind.
yeah, yeah. So I was surprised that we were getting more of these, and I guess they filmed multiple ones, so I guess
Hmm.
we'll be getting a bunch. So yay, that'll be great. I enjoyed it, so I enjoyed both of these.
Me too. They were
Yeah.
fun.
hmm hmm And what was interesting, y'all should definitely listen. I had interview opportunity from Hallmark Channel, where I interviewed all five of the stars from both of these movies at the same time. That was
Wow.
challenging. So I had Pascal Hutton, Kavan Smith, Barbara Niven, Allison Sweeney, and Victor Webster all in one interview. That was hard because you're not only interviewing five people at the same time, but you're also interviewing about two separate movies, completely separate movies. So
Was this on Zoom?
yeah, it was on Zoom that I did the interview,
Yeah.
and also making it sound somewhat coherent for people that are just listening, which is the
Yeah.
primary, avenue for our podcast. And so making it listenable with five people plus myself, of course. And that was, I think you have to let me know, but I think I did a pretty good job for some
That's
of the
impressive. I have to check
circumstance.
that out, but I will be watching the video because Victor Webster needs to be seen and not only
Yeah.
heard.
Yeah.
What a
He's
handsome lead. I think he's one of my favorites.
he is very handsome, no question. I still I'm well, this one. So have you seen any of the other Hannah Swensen? Do you follow them?
Oh, yes. I've seen,
Okay.
I think, all of the other ones. Plus, I started reading the books when I was in high school, which
Yeah.
was
Oh, okay.
150
So
years
you're a
ago.
pro. You know more of it
Yeah.
than I do. Well, the thing and I've said this many times on the pod, is that I just don't understand the need for his character, for Chad, because we
Mm,
already had Norman right there.
yeah.
Like, I just don't understand why they didn't just make Norman the love interest. You
In the
already had like a love triangle, so if one leaves and Mike leaves, you've got Norman right there.
I agree. In the books, I did fall off of them maybe by like the genuinely like the 15th one or
Oh
something.
my gosh.
She is still in watching this film, I went on, I don't know, one of these book forums, Reddit or something, just to search like, is Hannah still torn between Mike and Norman in the books? And she
Uh-huh.
is.
Okay.
So I wonder if this is the film's response to bringing a bit of grounding, like they needed an outside character, not Norman, just so that
Yeah.
they don't make a choice in the movies that she doesn't make in the book. That's my very amateur
Maybe,
read of it.
maybe. But I think the other weird choice was making him a prosecutor. So prosecutors don't investigate crime.
Yeah,
They sometimes do like a grand jury interview or something like that. But typically that's all done, and then they're presented with a. You're actually even prohibited sometimes, depending on discovery and depending on you.
100%.
You have to you certainly have to always, in a court of law, and I'm no legal expert, but my understanding is anything that's available to the one side has to also be available to the other side, right? And so you can't just have like a surprise witness. That's not a thing. You see that in the movies all the time. Like,
Hmm.
that's not a thing that can happen. You can't just be like, oh, here's this new evidence. No, it has to all go through discovery, and it has to all like be introduced to the judge, and there's all
And
kinds of rules.
it all has to be collected on the up and up too. So when
Yeah, yeah.
she, jumps behind that desk in Sugar and Vice at the hotel and starts taking pictures of documents and notes and
Yeah,
things,
yeah.
like I was like, "Sir, you
Well, and
cannot
she's
be
not
here
even
for
an
this."
officer, so I guess
Yeah.
technically she's not really, in a way, she's not breaching protocol, because any independent, human
Yeah,
being, as long as they're
she's
not,
fine. He
I guess
can't do that.
she could get like prosecuted for like trespassing maybe or something like that. But
Yeah.
would it be admissible in a court of law?
No.
Questionable.
And that's why Chad ducked down behind that wall and let her be the one
Yeah.
to get caught.
But it worked better. This one worked better. All the sort of issues that I have with the series,
Yeah.
because Norman wasn't in this movie at all, so I wasn't reminded of like, well, why aren't they using him? He wasn't in it at all.
Yeah, I thought that was a smart
So
choice.
that was smart. And since Chad was a guest at the dinner, the party, whatever, you didn't have to like bend over backwards to get him to be involved.
Hmm.
with the case. And because it was all in an enclosed building, everybody, so you had a limited number of suspects. That's always a fun element in this kind of mystery.
Yeah,
So I would say that this one worked maybe the best of the Hannah Swensen since they moved over from Murder She Baked to Hannah Swensen. This is certainly one of the best,
I
I think.
completely agree.
Yeah.
Ho, ho, ho. We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies Patreon.
Do you love Hallmarkies podcasts, especially at Christmas?
Do you enjoy the holiday previews, recaps, interviews, and bonus episodes?
If the answer is yes, please consider supporting the Hallmarkies Patreon. We need your help to do what we do both during the Christmas season and all year round.
But not only do you help a podcast led by strong, independent women by becoming a Patreon, you get to become a part of the Hallmarkies family.
Starting at only $2 a month as a patron, you will have access to our Facebook Patreon group where we talk about the movies, shows, and more all year.
We also have many monthly patron watch-alongs with guests like Lacey Chabert, Natalie Hall, Paul Campbell, Mary Lou Henner, and more, giving their behind-the-scenes details of their films.
As a patron, you also have the chance to provide input into the podcast and even join us at different tiers.
So this Christmas season, spread some cheer to the Hallmarkies Patreon and become a member today. You won't regret it.
Go to patreon.com/Hallmarkies to learn more.
That's patreon.com/Hallmarkies.
Hannah finds a body at the grand reopening of the Lake Eden Inn. When a storm traps everyone inside, Hannah must find the culprit before the road clears and the killer escapes. Ooh. And the other thing I really liked about this movie is that I liked the meta aspect. There's been enough of these that I think it's time, for like particularly Lisa. Lisa was crushing it. She was hilarious.
Yeah.
And she's like, is this where you find the dead body? I've never been here for this part, the part where you find a dead body. That was funny. I enjoyed that.
Me too. I still remain confused as to why people continue to live in Lake Eden, but I guess
Agreed.
you're just fine. Because even when they find the body, not to get too far ahead, Hannah, her reaction is she just says, "Oh boy." It's like at this point, it's nuisance. It's like, "Ugh, there goes another." And it's just
Yeah.
like, or even when her mother is notified, when Dolores is notified that Hannah found a body, she is not like, "Oh my goodness, someone was alive moments ago who is no longer alive now." Instead, she goes, "Oh, don't say it." As if like it's just, there goes Hannah doing her thing
Yeah.
again.
What an inconvenience.
Yes.
Dead body.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, they're all so ridiculous that at this point that little bit of meta-ness added to the script, I think.
I agree.
Yeah. And what's interesting about this lady who played Lisa, her name is Juliana Wimbles. And not only has she been in a ton of these movies as an actress, but she's also become like a little writer
Oh,
of
okay.
Hallmark movies. And she just wrote The Romance at Hope Branch, which had Alison Sweeney in it. Yeah, so that's kind of fun. And so she's doing great on both fronts. But I really thought her character was funny in this. I
Yeah.
also really liked Bobby. I was a big fan. I thought that Wern Lee is the name of the actor. I really thought he was funny. He brought a lot to the role.
Bobby at the very end of the movie genuinely made me laugh out loud. Like
Yeah.
in the scariest moment. Cracked me up.
Yeah, and just like his responses to everything, and he was
Yes.
freaking out and everything. He was good. I liked him. You don't think it's me? What? Yeah. The big critique I would have of this movie is this is not a good masquerade ball. Almost nobody had a mask.
Yes. I actually was confused between if it were a costume party or a masquerade ball because no one's face was covered. And I
Yeah.
imagine, you have a tight cast in these films. Maybe we want to be able to see their faces the whole time, but then just call it a costume ball. Very simple.
Yeah.
Instead, I found myself being like, do you wear a masquerade to a masquerade ball? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
That said, Dolores' little cowboy Carter outfit at the very beginning, that little pink cowboy fit was so cute.
That was good. Dolores, it was a good movie for her as well.
Yes,
She's become kind of the standout in this series, definitely for Hannah Swensen for sure.
a hundred
She's
percent.
almost always my favorite.
She
In
has,
both of these movies, you had two of my favorite Hallmark uh of their era. I don't know what era you'd call it, but my two of my favorite divas, Hallmark divas. You've got Laura
mm,
Soltis as a Palmer in Nelly, and
yes,
then she's always so good, and then Barbara Niven as Dolores. They're both so good.
very fun to watch.
Yeah, yeah. They would make like a great if they were going to do another episode of that like Rivals, show.
Yeah.
They would be really funny as I don't know your rival like is your if they were going to do I don't know some kind of Joan Crawford and that kind of a
hmm
rival show that
Betty
would be funny
Davis.
with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They would be fun in that. But we have our suspects going into you've got Mr. Howe is a definite suspect,
hmm
owner of the hotel and very of everything, and he is having an affair with on his wife, and so the wife Cheryl is her name, big suspect.
Yes. I liked her. She was very fun, aloof, pretentious.
Yeah,
I was very tickled by how she regarded everyone's costumes, how much she needed to win the masquerade ball costume contest. It was very,
yeah,
she was like a good possible villain.
yeah. She was a good. Matt, you were pretty sure that she wasn't the one
Yes.
because she was so obvious.
Yes.
But in a fun way for this kind of thing. And Paul McGillen, he was crushing it in both. He was in both of these movies.
Yeah, that threw me for a moment because I watched these back to back last
Yeah,
night.
me too.
And so I did do like a woo, like, hold on, hold on.
Yes, he plays Hux in the Nelly movies, and then he plays
Yes.
Mr. Howe in Kurt Howe in this one. So yeah, man's hard at work, hard at work. And but yeah, I would never hire Hannah in a million years.
I
I'd be like,
wouldn't even
stay
go near
away
her.
from me and your bad vibes.
No. An angel of death. I'm sorry.
Yes,
Like,
die.
you're not coming near me and my family. Sorry. Like, Absolutely not.
But they have for this masquerade ball, and it's a big opportunity. It's very exciting for her.
Yes. And then the other kind of baby suspect that none of us really believed was Bobby.
Yeah, there was no world where
No.
Bobby was but he was set up as a possible red herring because he has the somewhat threatening post-it
hmm
from the victim. Uh,
And they argued a little bit.
yes, yeah, yeah, and so poor Brandy she comes in, she says at the beginning, oh, I want to redesign the kitchen of this trying to get a promotion. She's dressed up as a bellhop, and it's not going to go well for her.
No. And we knew what the kiss of death was. It was chatting to Hannah.
Yeah,
It was having a
exactly.
little fun conversation, getting a
Yeah,
great business idea from her. I can't wait to live the rest of my life with this great business idea in my pocket from Hannah Swensen. No, it's
yeah.
over, Mama. Like, you should not have done that. Now it's over for her. Curtain call.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
tough.
yeah, yeah. And but this is when we get Lisa, never been here for this part, the part where you find a dead
Yeah.
body.
I also like that they made Brandy a sympathetic character. I feel like in these cozies, it goes either way. Like sometimes
Yeah,
it's someone that is like a villain, so there's so many more people that could have done it. I like that this complicated the suspects rather than
that's
Brandy
true.
herself, who just seemed like someone who, just wanted to have a really great, who had a great head on her shoulders for business and wanted
Yeah,
to achieve and was ambitious.
yeah. It's true, especially if they're any kind of homewreckers or portrayed in that way. Usually then they're very they're not given more likable traits like they do for Brandy here.
Yes. Yeah, Brandy's not married to Cheryl.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, it's Mr. Howe. He's the scoundrel. So he was a pretty convincing red herring, I think.
I was suspicious of him from moment one.
Yeah. Yeah. You have Dolores, she's watching she's watching Hannah's cat, and that's when she appears the cowgirl costume. It was very good. All her costumes, and then she's later on as the Red Queen, and we've got the sheriff who is the Mad Hatter, which was very fun.
Yes. And I loved after they find Brandy, the scene of Dolores circling Bobby about the time card issue that Brandy raises, and then the way the camera trails her and circles as well. It was so camp. Like that was
Yeah,
such
it
a
was. Yeah.
Queen Dolores moment.
I'm very curious. You and your fiance, have you participated in any couple costumes like this?
No.
Oh,
No, not to my knowledge. I'm trying to think.
because
Um,
I have always said that that's one of the like prime advantages of being in a couple is that you can wear couples costumes. So you need to get on that.
I will. I'm not really a dress up for Halloween person. One time, BJ came over and he had us make t-shirts with, the serial killer thing where you like have boxes of cereal and like knives through them. So I
Oh
guess
yeah,
the
yeah.
one time I was in a coordinated costume, but it was three of us. It was me, my husband, and BJ.
That's really funny. You could all be like the Wiggles or something like that. The
Exactly.
three of you do costumes. Yeah. But yeah, this Halloween. You
I'll
should make
get on
it.
it.
Yeah, good. That's good. All right. So then we have Hannah as a mermaid. She looked very beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. And Chad as our prince. That was fun
I thought
with
that was
the
very
two of
cute.
them.
I thought he
Yeah.
was a pirate. It took me a beat. He felt very piratey to me. And then
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, it's actually much simpler than that."
Yeah. And then I liked that and they say, how could she have found a dead body? And then I'm sure she didn't mean to.
Like this
It's
is how they're
rude.
talking about Brandy.
I mean, I'm sure it was just one of those things that happens if you're Hannah Swensen. Can you imagine like how traumatized you would be? Like,
No,
I mean, just it happening once would be like a major event in your life that you would probably, talk about for years, I would hope.
100%.
Unless you're a sociopath or something. But now Hannah, it's happened like every year. It's an annual event,
Yeah, because she's a
multiple times a
baker.
year.
She's not like a
Baker.
homicide investigator.
Yeah.
Even then, obviously, these people have incredibly traumatic jobs, and we see the results of that, of them needing, getting
Yeah.
support and whatever, and like raising awareness around that. You're a baker. You make
Right.
real good coffee, good scones and things. Like, you're not supposed to be doing this. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like it should rock you. But not Hannah. She's
Yeah, no.
unflappable.
Uh, yeah, and I do think they did a pretty good job of making you question about Mr. Howe because he has all these reasons to suspect him,
Yeah,
mainly the affair and everything, and his and with Cheryl and all of that. But then he says that you do realize any bad press would ruin my plans to rebrand this hotel. I had no reason to want Brandy.
He
That
seemed to
was, I
really
thought, a
care for
pretty
her
good
too.
moment because it created like a level, a layer.
Yeah. And he seemed to really care about her as well.
Yeah. So it made you kind of question, oh, well, maybe it's not him. And so that was fun. There was a pretty good moment for Chad when he broke down that door.
Yes. That is the most active I've seen Hannah too, where she was
Yeah.
gasping and yelling and scared. And I get it. I don't like the dark either. But I was like,
Yeah.
Mama, you're finding bodies every day. But this, she was shaken by being locked
Yeah.
in that room. And I like that we had an electricity goes out scene in both films. And in this
Uh-huh.
one, it is Chad having this like big man moment and breaking down the door.
Yeah.
And then Dolores, obviously cool as a cucumber, my queen, led people on the dance floor in a conga line lit with their phones.
Yes. She's trying to see who has the soil on their shoes.
Mm-hmm. Like that's so clever.
Yeah, it was good. And also when Dolores is questioning Bobby, that was really funny. That was
Incredibly
good. Yeah.
high camp, high art. So
Yes.
funny.
And then we have Daryl. So we got introduced to Daryl in the opening sequence, and then we don't really see him for much.
Yes.
He's the one who scheduled Hannah Swensen, which was poor planning on his part. Why did he do that? The
Yeah, if I
last
were
person that you'd want if you were up to no good is
absolutely, I'd
to
go
have
with
Hannah Swensen there.
I'd just do like a Panera delivery, just
Yeah.
anything else. If I had crime on my mind, I'm not
Yes.
bringing Hannah to it.
Right. But here we see him again, and he's trying to put all the put all the suspects onto Cheryl. He's
Mm-hmm.
like, this Cheryl has been very critical of Brandy lately. Ooh. And we have that. So Bobby owed Brandy money. That's where it
Yes.
gets. You think I killed Brandy because I owed her money? I thought you knew me better than that. How dare you, Anna Swenson? We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. Have you ever wanted to be part of the movie making process, as in have your say on what goes into a show or production? Our friends at LUVTV are looking for lovers of all things romance. That means listeners like you to be part of the exclusive screening of their next big project, Big Bridal Giveaway. Watch the footage and let them know if it hits all the right romance boxes before it goes live. They really are looking for your input to help shape the next love story. How cool is that? On Instagram, just go to @LUVTVMOVIES, Love TV Movies. That's LUVTVMOVIES. Or YouTube, you'll find Love TV under Brain Power Studio. Just drop the comment VIP on either of their socials, and they'll send you a VIP invite for the exclusive screening of Big Bridal Giveaway before the series goes live. And speaking of Big Bridal Giveaway, Love TV is looking for new brides-to-be to be part of the show. Get a glam bridal makeover and your dream wedding dress for free. Casting is now open. If you're interested or have a bridal bestie who's getting married, email them at info@lovetv.tv. That's info@LUVTV.tv. And I just really liked this actor playing. I'm like, he should get more roles. He's really good.
He's funny.
As Bobby. He's funny, and I think I think he could go beyond a character actor. Like
Oh
I think
yeah.
he's handsome. I think he's charming. I really liked him.
Very.
Yeah.
Yeah, I when I say he's funny, it's because he cracked me up in this one, but
Yeah.
100%. He's a
Yeah.
cutie. He could be the leading man in one of these as well.
Yeah.
For
Definitely.
sure.
Mm-hmm. And so then we have that I liked the big reveal that she's wearing sneakers.
Yes.
Like Anna. It's really funny. Dolores is horrified.
Dolores seemed as disappointed in the sneakers as she did with Hannah finding
Yeah.
Brandy.
And for a stabbing, there was very little blood. I'm pretty
True.
sure that a stab wound in the back would bleed a little bit more than this.
Just a little bit around the knife.
I would think so. Knows I'm ill experienced when it comes to these things. Uh, it is so funny that how movies can just be so different, portraying like the exact same things. Like I was just thinking about this. I saw the Ready or Not 2,
Oh,
and
okay.
just the amount of people that literally explode in the film. It's just funny. Movies are very funny things. And, but and this is when we find out that Brandy was having the affair with Mr. Howe. That's why she didn't get the promotion.
Yes, he was blue.
Mhm. Yes. And that she had the boyfriend blue. He was blue. And so that Cheryl didn't know, at least I didn't think she knew. She knew for sure. There's no way. But so Dolores is looking at the sheriff's files, another very shady moment.
Yes.
But it's the boyfriend. It's fine.
It was so funny to see Ron and Dolores negotiating over evidence. Like, like
Yeah. Like
he
I'm
could
pretty
arrest you
sure.
for doing that. I don't think you can
Yeah.
tell a cop, like, I know something big in your
Well,
murder investigation.
I'm pretty sure that looking at confidential files and stuff like that, I'm pretty sure that's some kind of crime. Like you
That's a
can't,
no-no.
yeah, you can't do that. But it was hilarious, and they're dynamic. I'm really enjoying them, Dolores and Ron.
Yes, I
They're
liked
really good.
the fact that they also did that family dinner. And it was like
Yes,
Dolores talking about hitting up Ron and Hannah sharing how she's sleuthing and she did the social media sleuthing as well. And then Michelle was like, I can follow the suspect, like the trust but verify thing. And I was just like, okay, so
yeah,
this is a family affair.
yeah. So then Cheryl confronts them. We're like, ooh, it's too early. So I knew she wasn't actually the killer, but it
Yes.
was like it's still a good moment. And she's like, I want to hire you to find out who killed that woman, so that y'all don't think it was me. So that was fun. That was good.
An incredibly suspicious way to ask for help. The way she creeped up that alley, it was one of the few times in these movies where I genuinely gasped. I was like, what is that? She just
Yeah,
appears in the shadows. And she's like, no, it's because I'm not the killer.
yeah. So then she's all looking into it, and she starts talking to Daryl.
Mm-hmm.
Hannah, and he says that Brandy pitched to him the bakery window. And she's like, wait a minute. That was the last thing that Brandy told me. How did you know that? You said
And
you hadn't talked to her all day.
yeah.
You had talked to her. Ooh. So then you get this fun chase between Daryl and or and Hannah
And right before
and
that, what
Bobby.
cracked me up was Bobby going, we're all gonna miss Brandy. Like he's just trying to break up the tension because it's like
Yeah.
now I know, we know, like we all scream for ice cream. Daryl done it. So
Yeah.
it's like he's trying to just calm it down. That made me laugh.
Yeah. He's like, Daryl changed his story about seeing Brandy at the masquerade party. Daryl was the one cheating on his time cards.
Mm-hmm. You can't do that.
Oh my gosh. And then uh and so then we have our chasing, and we end up catching Daryl. So all good. And then the movie closes out with you have Dolores with Chinese food for Ron,
Mm-hmm.
and a pretty big kiss between Hannah and Chad.
Yeah. She goes, I haven't figured you out. And he kisses her, and then he goes, not yet.
So we'll probably be getting more. I guess I do feel like the general chatter is kind of like, maybe we're over this series. Maybe it's done. I think you got to do one more. You got to finish it off. But maybe that one should be the last one. They've had a lot of these movies.
A lot. I still want justice for morning show mysteries, which after that full revamp, improved tremendously. And then, of course, one of the greatest losses in my life, Mystery 101.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, and that one's unforgivable because the cliffhanger was so unnecessary.
Yes, and
They
explosive.
like you do not do that unless you are 100% you're shooting. I mean, I'm talking that you're
Yes,
making more.
yes,
Like not we hope to no, then you don't do that because it had nothing to do with the plot. It had nothing to do with anything.
yeah.
But oh, that was so dumb. And but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like people maybe are done. They've tapped this well as long as it's gonna go. But if you did morning show mysteries, I mean, that's also a baker.
Yeah, let's bring
So
that back with the revamp. It
yeah,
was so good once they kind of figured it out. I think we may have talked about it
I
together,
think so. Yeah.
but I would say it was a bit lagging. But the one that we watched, they had just unlocked something.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you could have just given this at least one more shot, like in this direction and perspective.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies merch store.
Are you looking for that perfect gift for the postable, Hardy, or Hallmarky in your life?
What about getting that t-shirt or hoodie that will help you stand out at your next holiday party?
Now is the time to check out the Hallmarkies merch store.
Full of festive designs by artists like Jessica Miller, Carrie from Hallmark Comics, and more.
You can even have more than just shirts, but totes, cell phone cases, notebooks, mugs, and more.
And it isn't just Hallmark. We have designs for Anna Green Gables, Man from Snowy River, The Nanny, and more.
Every purchase at the merch store goes to help support the podcast and allows us to make the great content you know and love.
There are frequent sales, so go to tpublic.com/stores/Hallmarkies or see the link in the description.
That's tpublic.com/stores/Hallmarkies.
All right. So then we have Nelly Knows Mysteries, All Manners of Murder. Nelly and Detective Michael set out to solve the murder of a guest while at a lavish dinner. And this was directed by David L. Strasser and writer Catherine Wagner. And I did forget to say that about this. So Sugar and Spice, it was directed by Peter Benson, and he's the one who makes the comment
Cameo.
about the tree.
Yeah.
Oh, now we're stuck here. We got this tree.
I meant to say that too because I was so surprised to see him as like in a cameo role. So
Yeah.
then I looked up his IMDb. I had no idea he's like a prolific director of these
Yeah.
movies.
He's really become almost more sort of well known in the Hallmark world as a director at this point than an actor. So, but Nelly Knows Mysteries. Of course, this stars Pascal Hutton and Coven Smith, and we have a similar kind of setup, which was fun that they had them both be sort of everybody in one enclosed house. Everybody going to like a party basically here. She gets invited by this heiress, Palmer Arlott, who had written in some letters, I guess, to the Nelly column. And so she was estranged in Babbleton with her letter. I don't know what you call that, but your pseudonym or whatever for the letters. And so she invites Nelly to this dinner, and it's very why would you invite this advice columnist to your party? What's going on? But she decides to go, and she invites Michael to go with her to this party.
I thought it was funny that she was invited as like a keep people civil, keep people polite, like as if the sight of Nelly, someone would be like, you know what, I'm going to sit up a little bit straighter and I'm going to keep my voice down by an octave or two. Like, it's so funny.
I mean, I guess almost any stranger, you are going to be a little more well behaved than you are with your like straight family.
True.
Hopefully.
Well, unless y'all find out that you're disinherited and everything's going to the dog, then Nelly could be there, she could not be there, Mike could be there, not. Like, we're going to have to talk.
Yeah. Well, and the nice thing, this movie, it starts off with a crime being committed, not murder, but a theft.
Yes.
Theft. So that's a nice way to start off because you got this, oh, well, what's going to happen and it's just a nice way to start a mystery.
I agree. And
Is
I
that
like that it's a locked door, like you said. Those are my favorite kinds.
yeah.
So the fact that we got to watch two in a row was very fun.
Hmm. So like I said, there's this woman, Palmer Arlott, and Lars Soltis. She's just the best. She's
Mm.
so funny. She's a great actress, in my opinion. Very good.
Very fun to watch.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Like a juicy performance.
Hmm. She knew the assignment. They
Hmm.
say. So there, there were airing. This is going to be the airing of grievances. It'll be a family affair, and we have Fiona that is kind of eyeing Josh. They grew up together, evidently. So we get to see a little bit of that dynamic. She's played by Veronica Long, and I thought she was fun. She was nice. He works with the detective, I think. Dalen Willis. Anyway, they were fun. They're a little bit together. They grew up together, and then she asked Michael to be her plus one, and he's like, "Oh, this is going to be a date."
Yeah.
I like that little bit of flirtiness between them.
Yes.
And
And I didn't understand later when he was like, oh, it's not a date if you're working because she was invited to this dinner in a professional capacity.
uh-huh.
It's like, you bring dates to work things. That's a
Yeah,
thing too.
absolutely. Yeah.
Like, Mike, I'm sure there is some kind of ball or dinner or thing that y'all's department puts on, and you bring dates to that.
I don't really understand why certain single people are so picky about what gets actually counted as a date.
Yeah.
I'm not. Like I don't know. I don't think it has people are really weird about that sometimes.
Sometimes we can just hang. It doesn't have to be a
Yeah.
white dinner cloth. Or in his case, it's not even that. He's in maybe the fanciest environment you could for a date.
Yeah.
He just didn't like that she was invited in a professional capacity.
Hmm. So we have some clues starting up. Well, so they get there. We have this lady. She's got paint on her arm. We find out that Palmer's changing her will. She's leaving her estate to Moxie, the cute little doggy. uh, and yeah, this is when he says that, oh, you're here for a column, so it's not a date. What's going on? We also find out that Michael knows the caterer.
He knows the
He is,
caterer.
and so Lee is like, he didn't tell you, and she's his ex-wife. Oh, shocking.
That is wild. And the fact that they kind of compared her not telling Mike that she was invited in a professional capacity to her sitting and being with this woman and looking silly in her face because Leah was like, I don't think I should be the one to tell you. And so she
Yeah,
leaves that conversation with her confused. Like, I still do not know who this lady is relative to this man that I'm interested in. You cannot compare the two things. Your whole ex-wife is making our dinner. That's weird, bro. Like, you have to
yeah,
give me a
yeah.
heads up.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he didn't know that she would be there, but
Yes, but it should have
definitely
been
once you
just
see her, for
an
sure.
immediate, like upon setting eyes on her, hey, can I take you aside? Just a heads
Yeah.
up.
This could get awkward. Yeah. And I do think the actual murder itself was more effective in this movie than the other one because
Yes.
this happens in the crowded room where everybody's there, the lights go out and boom, out. No, he's gone. The lawyer's gone. Yeah.
It's
And
very Agatha
it's
Christie.
yeah, that was fun. I enjoyed that. And there's been a murder at Arlott Manor, which was classic. And his name, it's Adam, right? Yeah,
Adam, yes.
is the murdered is the victim is
Hmm.
the victim. And so we have a limited number of suspects because it's going to be somebody in this room, seemingly, you know. And the lights go out, and so you don't have that many clues, which is fun.
Yeah, the main clue is they have a sense of who was standing kind of near the door where it might make
Yeah.
sense that they shot at him. And then similarly, I think Nelly held hands with Palmer, who was scared of the dark or scared in the moment. And so she knew that Palmer also couldn't have been the one to fire
Yeah.
the gun.
So your main suspects that you have going is you've got Hux,
Hmm.
who's a brother. And obviously he's going to be upset because of the dog. But then you have Teddy, who is Hux's son, and Teddy was like a former football player, and now he's struggling. He was injured, and we find out more about that. And they're a little bit estranged, their relationship between Hux and Teddy. So there you go. You have Clara, who is the sister of Palmer.
The painter, and she learned to shoot on that gun.
Yes, and you saw her earlier in the movie looking at the gun,
Hmm.
holding it, different things. So she's a suspect. You have Bree, who is Palmer's half sister, in this, and then uh, you have the butler, the caterer. They were in the kitchen, so it seems like okay, they couldn't have done it, but
And I think they said Bree was like the best positioned in the room to have done
mm-hmm.
it.
Yeah. So I did like the moment when so Nelly asked Michael about the caterer. You're talking, and she says, "Are you deputizing me?"
Yeah. And he goes, "No, as a consultant." And she goes,
Yeah.
"Sherlock Holmes was a consultant."
Are you
Like,
my Watson? Yeah.
yeah. You can't get me down. This is exciting.
I do think that Pascal and Cobbin do have a nice chemistry together. I mean, you can tell that they work together on One Pulse the Heart, and
Yeah.
that they are very familiar with each other.
They're fun. Like it feels fun. I found myself smiling in their
Yeah,
interactions.
yeah, yeah. So Hux had offered an investment opportunity. He's like, my sister is a recluse with a fluffy dog obsession, and we're all paying for it. So again, added motivation for Hux. He was definitely a possible candidate.
And I liked his exchange with Nelly in the interrogation where he's like, I couldn't get this ring off if I tried because I think he was talking about marital issues. And she
Yeah,
goes, you could just wiggle it. And
yeah.
then I think that is when Mike was like, okay, moving on.
And you have Teddy when he's like, my dad takes every opportunity to remind me of my failure with my injury. So that's very suspect. You have Bree, she really needs money, and she
Yes.
knew how to shoot, like you were saying. Her fingerprints are on the gun, so there's a lot there with Bree.
And I like that they were throwing each other under the bus too. So I think it was like Huck said that Clara, I think he's the one that reveals that Clara learned to shoot on that gun. And Clara immediately was like, "Oh, well, Hux needs money." And then Hux immediately, like, I like that this family immediately fell apart and were just
Yeah.
telling on each other.
I also like that Fiona was like, you want to make a murder board? You want to
Yeah.
make a suspect board? They were really excited to make their murder board. She finds the muddy shoe print, which I do think I don't think most people, maybe because we don't have super sleuther skills, would like really think that much of a random shoe print in the mud,
Yeah.
but it was a
I
big deal. She immediately was like, whoa, okay, take a note of this.
She knew immediately what to do. I would not. I
Mm-hmm.
would probably
I
step in it.
agree. Yes. And so you have Leah, she's being kind of nosy. This is the caterer. And then Bree being kept in the kitchen. She's hoping for new clients from this. It's hard rebuilding in a new city. But the big thing about Bree is there was no gunshot residue found on Bree's hands. All the
Hmm.
suspects had everything in common, but who wanted Palmer dead? And there was a lot of back and forth about what's going on. Did she actually change the will? Did she, was she just saying that? What's going on? So, yeah. And then what was Adam doing? Adam was the lawyer.
Yes.
So,
And I like that they had a bunch of little moments as Nelly was stalking around outdoors. Like, we learned the butler uses the gun because he hunts fowl for soup stock. We saw her spying on Leah through the kitchen window a little bit. We learned Leah's stand mixer is what made the power go out. And Leah and Mike had that very loaded conversation about who moved for whom. But through
yeah,
that, I like that Nelly picks up on something because Leah says, I catered this as a favor. I knew I'd be in a room of rich people and there might be possible business coming out of this after, which that's tough doing work
yeah,
for like not money, but for possible exposure to other clients. In any
yeah.
case, Mike just accepts it and Nelly goes, favor for whom? Finish the thought. And I thought that was very good.
Yeah, that was good. Well, and we also learned that she's the one that caused the power to go out.
Yeah, her stand mixer.
Yeah, in which I don't know if that's how electricity works, but it does for this situation. It's the cord is a little frayed, and that's what made the power go out on
I
the whole
once
house.
I once did that when I studied abroad in college. I plugged my hair straightener in, not realizing the difference in voltage.
Oh,
And not only did I break the hair straightener, which got hot in a way that it's very difficult for me to explain in words. Like it got so hot, and then the lights flickered in the house, and then I just unplugged it
don't
as
they
soon
have
as I
like a
could.
different outlet though?
I had a converter thing, but it
Oh,
didn't
okay.
matter because I like basically tried to ruin these people's house. I felt so badly. I obviously never admitted to anything because they ran upstairs and they were like, "Oh my goodness, like did the electricity go out for you?" And I was like, "Yeah, weird, man." Like it's
Yeah.
just so scared. Like it's very vulnerable to live with strangers. So
Oh, yeah.
Martin and Anza, if you happen to be listening to this, es tut mir leid. Like, I'm very sorry.
Yeah. So we find out that Leah and Teddy, that they are an item.
Yeah,
Oh,
juicy. It
yeah.
was nice to couple Leah up too, because then it uncomplicates Mike.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. But it adds a layer to Teddy's motivation,
Mm-hmm.
maybe because he's dating this caterer or whatever. What is his family going to think about that and all of this? And I liked it when he says, we're going to go good cop, bad cop on them. That's funny. And but Teddy and Leah, they're getting married.
Yeah, they're
This is
serious.
serious. I also liked that Michael was real impressed with her murder board.
Yeah.
He was like,
And
"Oh, you've got all this everything here."
I liked that they got to go on a date too. Like, however Mike defines a date, she made him breakfast for dinner.
Yeah,
That's a good dinner.
yeah. So then we get the idea floated around. Well, maybe actually Palmer wasn't the intended target. Maybe Adam was
Mm-hmm.
the target all along. Ooh, what has he been doing, Adam? Very suspect, of course. And he tells he does they I appreciated that they did give one moment where he told his boss, Michael told his boss, I don't know if I should be involved in this because my ex-wife is a possible suspect. And she's like,
Finally
oh, it's
opening up
fine.
about that. Yeah.
But at least they had like 1 second of actual reasonableness in one of these movies.
Just for a beat.
But Adam was smug. He's a jerk.
Yeah, he was a good
Yeah.
victim.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So Palmer accuses Clara of trying to steal the manor, and so they have this email, but Nellie doesn't think it's actually Palmer's email. She's like, she sent me letters. I know her writing. This is not real. And then she finds the map and a secret room. Ooh.
That's one of my
house.
favorite things in mysteries, especially in mysteries set in homes like this. When someone, I literally wrote in my notes, "Come on, blueprint." Like, I was just so excited to see it. I love when they look and they're like, "Hold on, this like bookcase here, there is like 6 unaccounted for feet." And then boom, right behind it, we have what we need. So I love that there was a secret room moment with the blueprint and Nelly, and that we get to talk about the end of the Civil War. What a surprise thing to bring up.
That was. Yeah, because Bree is there, and there's not. I think the only thing better than a mystery room is our hero, our heroine, getting stuck in like nobody knows she's there. It's literally a secret room. How's she gonna get out? That's fun. That's a fun dynamic. And Bree's there with a knife. Also, her like very, very suspectly curling her hair. He was like, "Ooh, that." With it, they could get this would turn into a horror movie very quickly.
Yes, Nelly sitting for her hair. Ooh. It was genuinely chilling. It was genuinely chilling.
So we find out that Adam has been blackmailing Hutz. And basically Adam finds out that the original deed or whatever, which was what was being stolen at the beginning, did not have their family. Like the land doesn't actually legally belong to them.
No, Samuel Babel's signature was forged. The Arlots don't own the land the manor's on. Yeah. It belongs to the town.
So Adam was basically using this to blackmail them.
Yes.
And he forged the will about it. We also have Bree. She ends up getting arrested for theft, and we also have Moxie biting her at one point.
Yeah. There was too much happening around. There was a lot. That's what I wrote in my notes, specifically for Moxie. I said she needs a stable environment. This is too much.
Yeah. So we learn a little bit of legalese though about ad item. And the ad item, this means that it stays the same, meaning Adam Dunbar would live at the manor in the same way even after Moxie was gone.
Yes.
So this is his tricky plan. And we also have the butler starting to get a little suspect here. And she even says that he had a motive for staying at the manor. And then she realizes, oh my gosh, the secret room, you could have shot somebody from the secret room into the other room. Ooh.
I loved
could have been
the butler did it moment.
Yeah, it was fun. We also have Norman with the hunting rifle.
Yes.
Yeah. And they're all like, but the bullet pass and the points of impact don't line up. So that it could have passed through Palmer's hat. Or couldn't have. Sorry, it couldn't have passed through Palmer's hat.
Yes. She faked it.
Yeah. You marked Adam for him with the white rose. So it was a big plan between Palmer and the butler, Norman, to get rid of Adam.
I liked that it was symbolic and functional, so he could see it in the dark.
Yes, because they didn't want him revealing this thing about the will, about the land, and they didn't want him using it to manipulate them with everything with going on. So that's what made him think that she changed her will about Moxie, but she actually hadn't.
And that's what I like, that we learned that Adam was just so much worse than we even thought because of the way that he made Palmer feel isolated with all of these forged emails, which y'all have got to start reading the sender line much closer in these emails. This is sort of an email literacy thing I've started doing with my parents.
Yeah, and she was invited to be the perfect witness. of the
Mm-hmm.
crime. And they so they end up arresting both Palmer and Norman.
Yeah. Mike came a full 8 count too late. Like Nelly had fully de-escalated the situation, even with guns drawn.
Yeah.
And then Mike busts in just like a whole chorus later, and then finally was like, "All right, you're coming with me."
Do you think that Palmer just gets like a little slap on the wrist? Or do you think she's facing time?
I hope it's a slap on the wrist because
Yeah.
Moxie needs a mom. But the
Yeah.
other thing that comes to mind, because I don't think Clara or Clara is up to it. The other
Yeah.
thing that
Agree.
came to mind for me with Palmer and Norman being taken away is what happens with the land and the home? Because she was like, I want you to live in the home to her siblings and keep it up and protect the manor and raise my dog or whatever. But is that y'all's house? Is that y'all's land?
Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't mean to be very simple about this, but I thought the reveal from a few
Yeah.
scenes ago was that this situation is a bit dicey.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's true. I don't know what the laws are as far as how long things like that stay and how they passed. Because I know that like after a while, something like you lose owner. Like if something gets split by
Yeah.
so many people, basically it you kind of lose ownership after a while. Like you have to be really careful about like say if you have a home that and say you have like 10 kids and you don't have to specify an owner and then you have I don't know 100 grandkids or whatever. Like it's not like all 100 of those grandkids and I'm sure some legal person would be like, oh, she's explaining this terribly. But after a certain point, it basically loses ownership if it gets so diluted, right?
Okay.
So I don't know if they would like something like that here, but yeah, they kind of just dropped that. I mean, like, oh well,
Or
Adam's
maybe we
gone.
just,
No one's here to manipulate it, so it's fine.
and no one has incentive to open our mouths back up. Like,
Yeah,
hopefully, Nelly and Mike have forgotten as soon as they leave this driveway. And with that, the
yeah,
secret
I
is
guess so.
complete.
Yeah. And it was cute at the end. He writes this little letter to her because that's her, vice column, right? So he says that I say the schmuck should go for it. He likes this girl. I say the schmuck should go for it, which was really cute. And
Yeah.
I think it's Pascal, not Cavan. One of them doesn't like to do kissing scenes. And
Hmm.
I think it's Pascal. And I thought they did a good job of making it still seem, really flirty and cute and cuddly and everything like that without having a kiss.
Yeah, I don't think I was missing it. I think until
Mhm.
you mentioned it, I didn't even notice.
Yeah. So that was fun. And there we go. That is our Nelly Knows Mysteries. Oh, we also had the random cameo from Eli. He's the one who told us, Eli Flint, he's the one who told us the ad item
Yes.
exposition. And which was random because so Eli, played by Markian, who we just had on the podcast, he is that character of Eli is in another series called True Justice on the
Hmm.
Hallmark Channel. And evidently they have filmed like a couple, two or three True Justice movies. And we're just like waiting. When are they going to air these? What's going on? So that was random. And he told me in the interview that he basically went from shooting those True Justice movies to shooting this scene in this Nelly movie, and so yeah,
Oh, that's funny.
that this would air before those is interesting. And why on earth would they have this random cameo from
Yeah.
a character in another series? That's very Hallmark for you, but that was fun to see. And you also check out that interview. It was enjoyable. So that is this movie. I would give this one also a 3.75.
I agree. This was lovely. I might even do 3.85.
Okay,
It was just
I
like a
can
little
see
bit more
that.
fun to me because I liked everyone in the locked room with the gun going off in the
Yeah, the
room.
secret room, that was fun.
That gives it edge.
Yeah. Well, let us know what you think of these two mysteries. Did you enjoy them? What did you think of the clues and the red herrings and all that fun stuff? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section. And me too. Where can people find you?
You can find the Pilot Podcast, where we review pilot episodes of TV shows to answer our listeners' question, should I watch this, at thepilotpodcast.com. And you can also find us on social media at thepilotpod.
Great. And you can find me at Rachel's Reviews, all over social media, iTunes, YouTube, and on Rotten Tomatoes. So check that out. Also, make sure that you're following the podcast, Hallmarkies Pod, Hallmarkies Podcast, all over social media. And if you are listening on iTunes, please leave your ratings and reviews for both of our podcasts. That would really, really help a lot. And if you're listening on YouTube, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. We've had a big uptick of subscribers lately, which is awesome. But most of our viewers on YouTube are not subscribers. So if you could subscribe, that would really help a lot. And we also have our Patreon group, which is a ton of fun. We had the showrunner for the Mistletoe Murders show on as a special patron guest. This was for our December guest, and he just did a Q&A. It was super fun. We're having a special episode, our special patron event this month, where we have the creator, the director, everything of a really cute little Sense Sensibility, a modern retelling. That Camry Bagley Fox, we're having her on. We're going to watch the movie together. So those are cool experiences that you can have as a patron. And we have all of the episodes ad free, which is cool. So please check out the Patreon. I would really appreciate it. And then we have our merch store where we've got tons of fun Hallmark inspired designs, movie inspired designs. So take a look at that. And thanks so much, everybody. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.